What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. Today we're going to take a look at a Duraludon VMAX deck in the Sword and Shield through Fusion Strike standard format, and then talk about what a deck list for this deck might look like in the next format, Sword and Shield through Brilliant Stars, after that set releases later this month. So stay tuned for both a current standard and future standard deck list for Duraludon VMAX if you're interested in that. Be sure to check out PotownStore.com and use code CELIO for 5% off on all of your PTCGO code needs. And also check out CardTrooperGames.com. They've got great prices on booster boxes, including Brilliant Stars pre-orders. So hurry up and get those while using code CELIO to save 5%. You can find all of my standard format deck lists at PokemonCard.io. And check out the new Beast Coast Pokemon YouTube channel. The links for all of that are in the description down below. So Duraludon VMAX is a Dragon-type VMAX Pokemon with the single strike tag, and it has the ability Skyscraper, which is what makes it so good. The ability reads, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have special energy attached to them. So if your opponent is using Speed Lightning Energy, Fusion Strike Energy, Double Turbo Energy, which is going to be used a lot as of next set, Aurora Energy, Single Strike Energy, Rapid Strike Energy, just to name some of the more popular special energies that are around, Capture Energy as well. Skyscraper will prevent all damage done to itself if your opponent has any of those energies attached. And then it does have a really solid attack, G-Max Pulverization, to do 220 damage, and it goes through effects, which is nice. It has no weakness, which helps it be very tanky, and it costs fighting metal for its energy cost, so it is a little awkward, but nothing unbearable, and it has a high amount of HP as well. So we're going to take a look at this list from Christian, who played in a Play Limitless TCG event and did really well with it. You'll see that the deck has 8 Pokemon, 38 trainers, and 14 energy, so it's very low on Pokemon, and let's talk about why this list is built this way. So you don't want extra Pokemon on your board that your opponent can knock out and get around Duraludon VMAX. If your opponent needs special energy or uses a lot of special energy, you want to make it very hard for them to win the game. So if you're playing like Sobbles and Drizziles or Chinchinos or Crobat Vs, whatever, your opponent could just boss his orders around your Duraludon VMAX and knock out those other Pokemon, and the whole purpose of Duraludon VMAX would kind of go to waste. So this deck just plays a 3/3 line of Duraludon as well as 2 Zacian V. Zacian V is a very strong Pokemon. It draws cards, it accelerates energies to itself, and it does 230 damage for 3 energy, which is great. And it's a 2-prize Pokemon, so if you force your opponent to attack into a Zacian V to take 2 prizes, and then only have 2 Duraludon VMAX on the board, your opponent will essentially have to take 8 prizes to win the game. So the deck is built around just setting up 2 Duraludon VMAXs and trying to keep them alive with things like Team Yell Towel and Pokemon Center Lady and Crystal Cave. It's also important to be running those Crystal Caves to heal your Duraludon VMAX, because there are some decks that can get around Skyscraper, like Mew VMAX's Max Miracle can do 130 and go through all of effects, but it's only doing 130. It's not its main attack. So Pokemon with those Shred type attacks can go through Duraludon VMAX, but they're typically going to be doing less damage. So then you can heal most of that damage away with Crystal Cave plus Center Lady plus a Team Yell Towel. You'll notice this deck doesn't play Quick Balls and Evolution Incense like most decks would. Instead, it's playing Adventurer's Discovery that allows you to search your deck for 3 Pokemon V. So that could be V or V Max or even next set V Star. Other than that, this deck doesn't run Energy Acceleration outside of Raihan. It's just going to be manually attaching, or, Intrepid Sword can attach to Zacian, but no other energy acceleration for Duraludon. You're just going to manually attach 3 times and then start attacking. So now let's look at what I've cooked up for the next set. This is a rough draft I've made of Arceus V-Star Duraludon VMAX. So in place of those Zacians, we have some Arceus going on, a 3-2 line of Arceus V-Star. Arceus V-Star is 280 HP, and it is only 2 prizes, so it can still fill that same role that Zacian did. We can evolve up into this Arceus V-Star and force our opponent to knock that out, and then go through to Duraludon VMAXs to essentially need to take 8 prizes to win the game. The Trinity Nova attack is not only going to help us set up knockouts, but it's also going to set up our Duraludon VMAX, because Trinity Nova can search for 3 basic energy cards and attach them to our Pokemon V. So we can get Metal, Fighting, or some of both. And then Starbirth allows us to search our deck for any 2 cards. I think most of the time this Starbirth will probably be getting double turbo for the Arceus itself, plus 1 card. And then if you start with double turbo or you draw into it turn 2, then you can save Starbirth for later. But this deck now has a very strong turn 2 attack, which it didn't have before. So you have that very strong turn 2 Trinity Nova for 180 after you minus 20 for the double turbo, and then you get to accelerate energy to your bench Duraludons. I'm still running a very similar supporter lineup with Adventurer's Discovery and Avery, 1 Raihan, since we are going to have extra energy acceleration. This Raihan could even potentially be cut in future builds. We're adding Charon's Care, which can pick up a colorless Pokemon that has damage on it, so we can just essentially heal an Arceus V-Star after our opponent hits into it. And then I do like Flannery, because Flannery can remove a Path to the Peak if it's in play, and Path is going to hurt us because that allows our opponent to go through Skyscraper. So Pokegear can kind of pseudo search out a Flannery, or we can even use Starbirth to get a Flannery ahead of time if we think our opponent will be playing down a Path to the Peak later. But we do have 4 of our own stadiums to counter Path to the Peaks as well. The other new card in this deck is going to be the Choice Belt. So Choice Belt will allow Duraludon VMAX to reach 250 damage, which means it can knock out something like the new Raikou if it has a toughness cape on it, or even the new Charizard V-Star after it's been pinged by its own stadium twice, if that is ever something that comes up. And I believe it can one-shot some of the V-Stars. I think Whimsicott V-Star can one-shot. I know it can one-shot Shaman V-Star. But that Choice Belt could potentially come in handy sometimes, and also help out with Trinity Nova, making it do 210 after the double turbo energy is negative 20. So with that 210, it could knock out a Suicune potentially. And that's going to be it for the Duraludon VMAX deck today. So if you enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know if there's anything different you would like to do with Duraludon VMAX with Brilliant Stars, and what partners are you excited about to try out with Arceus V-Star when Brilliant Stars gets here. I'm really excited for this set, and I hope you are all too. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, check out my sponsors and the links down below, and I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.